And again, with legalization happening in the U.S., we are set to capitalize on that in a big way too.
Let's talk about how that is and whether all this alcohol portfolio, is that sort of eventually, does that become marijuana distribution? How should we think about that?
So Amber, what I didn't want our shareholders to do is sit back, and we all been waiting for legalization in the U.S. Now I want to make sure we are in a good business with good growth, with good income, with good EBITDA, but had adjacencies to cannabis upon legalization. Yesterday I visited the facility we own called Truss, which does, cannabis drinks in Canada, and I'm looking at that and sort of saying, wait now, just imagine if I could sell nationally in the U.S. beer that didn't have alcohol, but was infused with THC, how big a business.
So that's why you're buying these brands.
So one of the reasons is I'm buying these brands too, because I think there's a big opportunity in the beer business, and my whole strategy is craft beer. How do you make it cooler? How do you sell more craft beer? A lot going on in the beer industry. So that's number one. But number two is this here, we set up the distribution, we set up the brands, and upon legalization one day, we will infuse these drinks with THC, CBD, but we'll have the distribution and we have the brands, when and if legalization does happen. Ultimately, our government got to start listening, and that's U.S., to deschedule it. And cannabis should be similar to what Tylenol with codeine is. I have 4 kids. I know what they're doing in regards to cannabis versus, alcohol sometime, right. Okay? So I come back and I understand some of the medical benefits. Everybody realized cannabis is big. A lot of shareholders got hurt, so they're afraid to jump back in. But if you look at, in regards to our volume, we trade some days between 50, 80 million shares a day. That's more than Apple. That's more than, Tesla.
Hey folks, it's Ron with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community on the planet. Today's Thursday, September 14th. I hope you're well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing what I just played at the beginning of this video was the discussion regarding beverages. And we know Tilray just acquired Truss Beverages, and that was a Molson Coors collaboration with Hexo, and then they bought Hexo, and then they bought 100% of Truss off of Molson Coors. So that is MJ Infused Beverages, and we're going to be discussing all of that in this video today, how MJ Beverages are super underrated and how this segment is going to continue to grow. And from the clip that I just played, I'll share the link and I'll share that video. If you haven't seen that already, I'll put it in the description and in the comments, but most of you have likely already seen it by now. But you can start to see that, through their beverage brands and their spirit brands, they're going to be able to infuse all of those with MJ, right? CBD, whatever it is. And that is going to be massive, right? We're going to have all of these brands in the U.S. distribution, the warehouses. They're already going to have all the brands set up, right? That 420 brand from Sweetwater Brewing Co. is going to be massive and getting a lot of great feedback about it. And Montauk is very, very popular at the moment as well. If you tried Montauk, I haven't personally, let me know in the comments. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, make sure to follow Pow Group on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So again, that is the handle @GroupPow. Also just launched the Pow merch store, got over 20 orders, and getting a lot of really great feedback. And when you do get your Team Tilray or a ton of people ordering the hats and the hoodies, those are the most popular. When you do get that, make sure to tag me on that on X or in the Pow Group private community if you're a member. And I'm going to be doing a cool collage at the end, but you can see here Team Tilray, like I said, with the Pow Eagle and the Pursuit of Wealth on the sleeve. This one's super popular at the moment. But this was the article here. Sorry, not the article, the interview from CEO Irwin Simon. I posted this yesterday. It's an absolute banger of a video, just over 10 minutes long. It's a must-see if you haven't seen it. Again, I'll put the link in the description and in the comments. But it's absolutely fire. He talks about capitalizing on the possible U.S. market if they do legalize at the federal level. And there was some news out today from Montauk Brewing, and this is the clip that I played at the beginning of the video as well. I just took a couple clips out of that, and you can start to see how big it's going to be and how confident he is and how excited he is in his voice, right? And then today, Montauk Brewing expands distribution beyond the Northeast. So Tilray and Montauk, known for its exceptionally craft beers and subsidiary of Tilray Brands, announced today the beginning of highly anticipated expansion beyond the Northeast that will begin in Georgia and continue into other major markets in the U.S. later this year. This is a huge moment for Montauk Brewing as we begin a sustainable path to becoming a national brand. Since Montauk Brewing was founded 11 years ago, the buzz around its innovative, easy-drinking beers has spread far beyond New York. Consumers and retailers across the country constantly ask us when Montauk will be available in their cities, and we're excited that we can now show them why Montauk is a top craft brewer in New York, said Ty Gilmore, president of U.S. Beer at Tilray. Tilray. So again, if you tried these Montauk brands, let me know. You can see your Driftwood Ale, Cold Day IPA, Wave Chaser India Pale Ale, box of Montauk. I'm super big on craft beer, and I love it. Here in Alberta, in the western coast of Canada, we call it Alberta because there's so many craft beers and things like that. But if you tried that, let me know what your thoughts are on and your opinions are on that. But you can just start to see, right? They're going to capitalize on the craft beer market, which is huge. Is seeing tons of growth. They said that they're potentially getting into spirits as well, even more than they already are, depending on how long it takes for U.S. federal legalization. But once it happens, you can see that the network is already built. Plus, they've already acquired Truss, so they have 100% of that. They're number one here in Canada in terms of beverages, MJ Beverages in Canada by a landslide. I think it's like 30-40% market share. And the amount of repeat buyers, I'm going to be buying Truss products for the rest of my life. If you're in the U.S., wait until you try these Truss products. And it's just going to keep getting better, in my opinion. But you can start to see they can change these MJ. They can infuse the spirits. They can infuse the beer with MJ later on. And a dream of mine has been to create a brewery that's only MJ infused beer. So that's something I'm going to be looking to do before I die. That's definitely been, like I said, a dream of mine. And I'm very passionate about this industry. It's medicine of the future. And just imagine when the Super Bowl, right? We know that when Snoop Dogg was doing the halftime show, they wouldn't allow MJ ads and they wouldn't make an appearance that year, but it's inevitable. But what's likely not going to happen is flour. They're probably not going to put, a leaf's one thing, but they're probably not going to put Bud or like Shatter or some kind of concentrate on there. What they're likely going to do is they're going to use beverages, right? Just like the thumbnail of this video, right? So again, it's a little bit more accepted, right? And there's still that stigma. So I think they're going to have this would be, this was the Super Bowl ad. And the picture in the background, if that was the Jumbotron, this could say Tilray Brands, Truss, and then, their beverages, right? That'd be much more realistic than seeing like a leaf or a flower or, some kind of concentrate on there, right? It just wouldn't make any sense. But something to think about as well, if you're at one of these games, right? If you're at a major league NFL game or baseball game or hockey game, you're not going to be smoking. They're not going to allow you to smoke or vape right in the arena, right? There's going to be kids and all that stuff. It just smell. It'd be terrible, right? It'd be a bad experience for most people, unless you're an MJ supporter and smoker. But a lot of people are also looking for healthier alternatives, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to sell MJ infused beverages, right? And it's going to be huge. Imagine concerts, events, and when they're at grocery stores and liquor stores, and you can buy it at restaurants and things like that, right? It's going to be absolutely massive. I think this is the most underrated segment in the sector, right? So MJ infused beverages and spirits are going to be massive. Even wine now can have MJ in it with no alcohol, right? And then there's also some news today from MJ Moment. GOP Senate MJ banking bill sponsor says vote could come sometime in September as more members tout progress in bipartisan talks. There was also an article here from MJ Moment. Moreover, congressional researchers say DEA is likely to reschedule MJ with broad implications for taxes, housing, and immigration and more, right? We know that we're entering a potential recession, if not already in one, and then a potential depression, and things could get really bad, right? Housing's a big issue, inflation, runaway inflation. So this could help create more jobs in the long term and then help fight off that recession and potential depression as well, right? And that drop off in economic activity. So I think this would be massive. And then obviously we have tons of catalysts. I think Tilray is going to see some massive moves over the next couple of weeks and months, and into the end of the year, I think is going to be absolutely explosive. But let me know in the comments below if you think this MJ Beverages segment is underrated, because in my opinion, I think it's going to be absolutely massive. Just wait until people in the US can buy these MJ infused beverages. They are unlike anything you've ever had. I've been to Colorado, I've been to Florida, I've got the MJ infused beverages in Planet 13, in Florida, in Colorado, in California, and they are absolute trash. They were so bad, some of them I didn't even finish. I took a couple sips and just left them by a garbage can because they were that bad. And I'm talking very, very bad. And then you'll have some of the ones from Truss here. I just mark my words, when you try it, you're going to be hooked for life. But going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. I'm excited for the future. It's Rod with Power Group. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and we'll continue the conversation there. Have a great night. We'll see you on the next video.